Hey everybody again. So if you watch the disassembly of the 1100, this is where we are now. Now we're going to clean it. First thing I clean usually is the barrel. Now what I've noticed, since I'm fairly new to shotguns, is that shotgun barrels don't get that dirty. But I put 100 shells through this morning, and there's hardly any residue in the barrel. What I like is, unlike a rifle, you don't really get any lead deposits too much because all the shot, is held in its cup as it travels down the barrel. So you don't get too much lead fouling. You just get a little bit of powder, and that's really easy to clean out. So specifically with the 1100, what you want to do is clean your cylinder and your gas ports first, because what's going to happen is when you clean in here, and especially when you clean the ports, stuff's going to fall into the barrel. So if you clean your barrel first and then you clean your cylinder, you're going to have crap in your barrel at the end that you're going to have to clean out again. Basically all I do for the barrel is I get some solvent, some powder solvent, like hops number 9, or any solvents. It's all good stuff nowadays. And find my brush here. I like to take a toothbrush, go ahead and dip it in the solvent, and just go ahead and brush out the cylinder, like so. When I first got this gun, the owner had never cleaned it, hardly. They'd only cleaned the barrel, but they seemed to have neglected to actually take the gun apart and clean the rest of it. It wasn't too bad, but there was some real heavy powder caking on. There's some stepped lands inside the cylinder where your rings sit, and there was some heavy caking on that and on the rings themselves. I actually had to take a Dremel with a brass wheel on there to get that stuff off. But if you maintain regular maintenance, all you're gonna have to do is just brush some solvent on there a little bit, and any powder residue is gonna come right off. That's about all you need to do. From here, now it's coated with solvent, what I like to do is just let it sit. While it's sitting, we want to clean the little gas ports. Don't know if I can... There they are. These are important, obviously, because this is where the gas is going to come through to recycle the action. And if they're clogged at all, you're going to have problems. You're going to have re-racking problems. The gun's going to kick harder. It's going to malfunction. I have yet to find a tool that works really well. What I'm using now is just a really small drill bit, since the ports are pretty clean anyway. And just kind of make sure there's no powder or anything blocking the ports. You don't want to ream these, it's not like you don't want to go crazy on them or anything, because you don't want to widen them at all. Just want to kind of make sure they're clear and free. That's about it. From here, you could just wipe out the cylinder. I like to spray it down with some gun scrubber, just a little bit. I find that you spray some of that after the solvent, it tends to clean it up real nice. Then you're just going to take a cloth or something, work it in there. You see some of that powder coming out. Go ahead and check it out. And basically what you want to do is clean it until you stop getting powder residue out. It doesn't have to be perfect, these guns aren't so highly sensitive that if they're not perfectly clean, they're not going to function. So that's about it for the cylinder. Now we're going to, I wish I could show you this, but if you look inside you can see some of the stuff is falling through like I was talking about. So now we're going to clean the bore. If you own any gun, this is going to be pretty redundant. It's the same idea. You're going to take a patch. Alright, you're going to take your cleaning rod. And I'll tell you, if you're getting your first shotgun and you're looking for a cleaning kit, I would recommend the, who makes it? I think it's Outers. Yeah, here's some of their stuff. Outers. They give a kit. It comes in a plastic blister pack, and it's real cheap. I think it's only like $15 or something. And you get the rod, and you get a brush and a patch and some chemicals. And the reason I like that is that if you just go to buy a rod, I've seen some of these things for like $30, $40. And I don't understand why that is. Jag for 12 gauge. Because I like these better when you're running a patch through than just wrapping the patch, but I don't have one yet, so that's what we're going to do. Anyway. So basically you're going to soak your patch. And I like to do it like this. Some people like to wrap them around flat, but I like to go like this. And basically we're going to run that right through. The first one, I just push straight through. Alright, you can see some of that powder. Sometimes I will leave the brush here, and what I'll do is I'll just pour just a little bit of solvent in the top of the barrel, and I'll bring the brush back through a couple of times. Now some people will tell you not to do that, and I can understand that with rifles or anything with rifling, but these are smoothbore barrels and the back end is very open to cleaning, so I don't see any problem with a reverse brushing it. Okay, so now the inside's coated with solvent, and I will run, what you can do is continue to run patches through with solvent until they come out pretty clean, and then you're going to run a final one through that's dry, and it should come out pretty clean. If you live in areas where it's very, very humid, or you're going to store your gun for a long time, you're going to want to put a couple drops of gun oil on your final patch, just to coat the inside with a little bit of oil so it doesn't rust. We're going to do a final dry patch, and it's also a good idea to, I did this off camera, but to clean around the barrel entrance first before you start any of the patches, because otherwise you're going to end up grabbing dirt or powder and pushing it through the barrel. You don't want to do that. Alright, so there's the final, which is pretty good. Usually when it's spotting like that, it's just because of the bristles. So take a look here through the barrel. And what you want to look for when you look through the barrel is that it should have a mirror finish all the way down. And if you kind of move it around, you'll be able to see if you have any trouble spots left. Otherwise, you're good to go. And the barrel and the cylinder are done. Okay, so actually we're running out of time, so see part 2.